One of the most common questions we're seeing from contractors right now, how much does environmental insurance actually cost? The honest answer is, it depends, but that's not very helpful on its own. So in this video, we're going to break this down in a practical way, what we'll cover. Because both mistakes can be expensive in different ways. What actually drives pricing? What realistic ranges look like? Where contractors tend to overpay or underestimate their exposure. Let's start with the biggest factor. Environmental insurance pricing is based on risk, not just revenue. And this is where a lot of contractors get it wrong. They assume pricing is based on company size, but underwriters care more about what you actually do. Type of work performed, level of environmental exposure, types of materials handled, likelihood that something could go wrong. For example, a contractor doing light site work with minimal exposure is priced very differently than someone handling hazardous materials, or working in oil and gas environments, or doing remediation work with existing contamination. Even with similar revenue, two contractors' pricing can be completely different based on risk alone. Now, the second factor is your project profile, how your work is structured. Are you working on one-off jobs, ongoing operations, large multi-year contracts? Why does project profile matter? Short-term work is viewed differently than long-term exposure. Extended projects increase duration of risk. Longer exposure window yields more uncertainty, impacts pricing directly. So it's not just what you do, it's how long you're exposed while doing it. Next, let's talk about coverage limits and policy structure. Pricing can vary significantly here. The amount of coverage you carry plays a major role. For example, a $1 policy is priced very differently than a $5 or $10 program. Claims-made policies versus project-specific policies affect risk evaluation. Deductibles or retentions also impact premium. Even for similar work, policy structure differences mean pricing can look completely different. Let's put some real numbers around this. Environmental or pollution liability insurance might fall somewhere around $2,500 to $10,000 annually on the lower end, significantly higher for more complex, higher-risk operations. But here's the key point. That range can shift quickly depending on exposure. This is not a fixed cost type of coverage. It moves with your operations. Here's where we see problems. Most contractors focus only on price. Look for the cheapest option available, or assume their current policy is good enough. But low cost doesn't always mean adequate coverage. And in environmental claims, the cost of getting it wrong is usually much higher than the difference in premium. The risks of underinsuring, cleanup costs, third-party claims, project shutdowns, long-term liability in some cases. Saving a few $1,000s up front can turn into a much larger financial problem later. Experienced operators do things differently. They look at cost in context, evaluate their actual exposure, review what contracts require, assess if coverage performs when it matters. Because the goal isn't just to reduce premium, it's to make sure the coverage actually performs when it matters. Looking ahead, we're seeing more scrutiny from project owners and carriers. Pricing is more tied to actual operational risk. General classifications matter less. Understanding how your business is being evaluated is becoming more important than ever. Trying to figure out what environmental insurance should cost for you, or whether your current price makes sense, it's worth taking a closer look at how your policy is structured. Small differences in policy structure can create big differences in both cost and protection. Most contractors don't realize they're either overpaying or underinsured until there's a contract issue or claim. If you want to take a closer look at your current coverage, or get a realistic view of pricing based on your operations, visit the website or schedule a call using the links in the description. Thanks for watching.